Okay, here we are in my basement again, and I guess that the course is up and running. I guess it is. This is my first time doing this, and I didn't know what to expect. Three of you have checked in, and which for all I know is normal for late in the first week of the semester. If you haven't checked in yet, please go to the introductions and say who you are, and please give me an idea that you've actually looked at Unit 1. And I guess today and tomorrow is sort of when you want to try to absorb Unit 2. And the main thing is that we need to build up towards you being able to have opinions about primary documents by noon on Monday, which means I need to give you your orientations, uphill or downhill, today, later this afternoon. And so I want to get you to that point. This video is supposed to be only about like 8 minutes is what is advised from everything that I've read. So we'll try to keep it short. You know, the main material you have for this course, at least so far, is the reading, of course, which is essential. And I know Jenny in New Zealand will supplement the textbook with articles. And also, of course, the outlines that I tried to write, which are very, I guess, I don't know if they're long or short. They're pretty elaborate. I spent a lot of time on them. There's main points I want you to get out of them, and then I hopefully give you enough detail that they make sense. Please tell me if things are working or not working. What you want to appreciate, though, at this point is read through the whole Green Mountain Boys stuff from 1769 to 1775, and appreciate that it was a conflict over whether or not Vermont, what became Vermont, would be part of New York. Appreciate that the east side was different from the west side. That matters less and less as time goes along. Appreciate that the Westminster Massacre in '75 was a turning point for people in the east as far as not respecting New York authority. And so then you get to the Constitution. And the founding motto of Vermont is freedom and unity. And Vermont had to be an exciting idea in order to attract people to it. In order to get skeptical people on board with Vermont's independence. And so, unlike other states at the time, which were formed out of the experience of hewing out the wilderness or whatever, Vermont began as an experiment, an effort to reconcile the contrasting impulses of human life. Everyone wants to be free, everyone wants to be equal. So Vermont's about balance. And all of the people who came up with this concept at the Constitutional Convention, at least by employment, were common men, were common farmers. And it is in that same year as the Constitution was written, 1777, that the first lawyer, Isaac Ticonor, came to Bennington. And once he was there, what you begin to have is the growth, which is section 4 of today's outline, of the uphill and downhill divide. And so, very briefly, in studying Vermont, I could tell in contemporary times that there was a division between different kinds of people in the state. It's a spectrum as opposed to two camps, but nevertheless, in about 2000, when I was thinking about it a lot, the Take Back Vermont movement was going on, and I knew there was this basic division in Vermont, and that it was about nativity. It was a question of an argument about who was a Vermonter. It was about nativity, but not exclusively. In fact, 5 generations in a town is different from one. It was about employment. Lawyers and farmers are different. It was about ethnicity. French Canadians different from Yankees. It was certainly about location. Burlington is different from Wheelock or something like that. But most of all, what I realized was it was about ideology. And rather than call them farmers versus businessmen, because there's some farmers who farm in downhill ways and businessmen who run their businesses in uphill ways, I needed better labels than that. And what I saw on early Vermont maps was that the original settlers, farmers, put their villages on tops of hills, and then businessmen tended to come later and settle in the valleys for a better access to the outside world. And so I had my labels uphill and downhill. And an illustration of this in the outline is the 1780 fist fight between Matthew Lyon and Nathaniel Chipman, which was over whether or not Vermont, the state government, could appropriate the land of loyalists, which is totally contrary to Blackstone's property rights laws. And a lawyer from Connecticut, a downhiller named Nathaniel Chipman, claimed that it was of course illegal. Matthew Lyon, a great uphill hero, said he didn't care about precedent. Nathaniel Chipman called him a stupid Irish puppy, and they ended up having a fist fight in 1780 right there in the legislature. And so the uphill and downhill divide is off and running, and you're going to see it be the thread that runs, of course, all the way through our course. And what we'll be measuring is exactly how unified or disunified Vermont was in various eras. So what you're going to be doing, I'll give you your uphill and downhill identities, half and half hopefully, and then what I'd like you to do, once you're really familiar with the idea, and write me if you're not, have a look at the 3 primary documents in the town meeting #1 folder on the discussion board, and then give me intelligent, informed opinions about whether, on the single question that is on each of them on the assignment sheet that accompanies the primary documents. Sound good? Okay. Thank you.